Hi guys, it's Catherine, and this is My Kinda Recaps. So this week I'll be talking about episodes 18, 19, and 20 of Inhuman Condition, which was finally back from hiatus this week. What? Yeah, that was cheesy and lame. I can't really dance, I'm sorry. But I am very excited. Okay, so these episodes were, there wasn't much Link, just FYI. In episode 18, Dr. Kessler, it's 6 weeks after the attack at her counseling place. It's like it's her office. There we go. For some reason my brain was like, I don't know what the word office is for 30 seconds. I don't know. Okay, so it's 6 weeks after, and her ex-wife Rachel and her daughter Mara are there. And they are talking to her a little bit. They go to get tea for her. When they go to get tea, Clara comes in, and it turns out that she has a counseling session today, and Dr. Kessler had forgotten, which is understandable. There's a lot going on. So Clara comes in, and she's like, well, Link dropped me off. Do you mind if he comes in? So Link comes in. He looks really good. Dr. Kessler points out that he looks great, and he's like, I have lichen healing, so he's fine. Dr. Kessler is still nursing the wound in her stomach. I think it was stomach, not abdomen. Yeah. You can't really see my hand, I already know that, but I'm still gesturing down at roughly the place that I think it was. So Link's fine. He and Clara have been hanging out a lot. We already know that. While he's there, Mara comes in with the tea. And she's like, oh, hi, you must be my mom's patients. And they're like, oh, hi. And so Mara gets introduced to Link and Clara, sort of. And then Rachel comes in because Mara forgot the milk, and he's like, you forgot the milk, and then like aggressively like moves the tea and then like puts the milk down, and she and Mara just leave. Rachel is not a happy camper, just not. Link leaves, and then Clara has her actual session with Dr. Kessler, and Dr. Kessler asks her how everything's going, and Clara's like, it's great, it's not. Clara and Link have been going out. Link has actually been spending a lot of time with her and her dad. The three of them have been having dinner together every night. And even though Clara gets up every morning thinking, I'm doing this for Link, I'm doing this for my dad, she says she's still in the same place she was 3 months ago. So she does not want to be alive, but is staying alive for the sake of the two men currently in her life. And she doesn't want to die because she's afraid that that will cause Link and like to do either kill himself or go do something that gets him killed. And Dr. Kessler finally says that she never meant to intimate that she should stay in a relationship where the partnership is not equal. So she actually signs Clara's form that gives consent to say she's of sound mind, that she can end her life, gives it to Clara, and Clara is like astonished. And that episode ends. In episode 19, we don't see Dr. Kessler with any of her patients. We actually see her with Will, who has apparently been talking to Rachel, which she's like, what? Because he doesn't like Rachel at all. Then she is like really upset with him, and he oddly does not understand why. And she's like, you leaked Link's name. Like, you, me, and Lycan Superior were the only people who knew he was in Lycan Superior, so you told. And he's like, he gets very defensive, and she's like, I know how you are. And he's like, what? No, he's an actual terrorist, I'm worried about you, and he storms out because she accused him of being the reason that she got injured, and he's blaming Link for her getting injured. She's like, they came here to kill him and you got injured, and all of this stuff. I still think Will is connected to all of this because he was literally stalking Link, and I feel like I just don't trust him at all. After Will leaves, a little while later, Mara is on the couch with Dr. Kessler, and she's like, Mom, why don't you tell me anything? Like, I'm worried about you. You used to tell me what was going on in your life. Now I know absolutely nothing, so I'm worried about you all the time. And then the two of them are very cute together. We only got to see them together one other time, and it was a very brief, like, hi, I'm visiting, and then they left. The two of them are on the couch. Mara says that Dr. Kessler's research is what made her the woman, like, made her who she is, that she taught her how to be a woman. And so she's sort of taking care of her mom in that moment where she's like holding her, and like Dr. Kessler's being very like fun and she's like messing with Mara a little bit, and the two of them wind up just like cuddled up on the couch where she's like saying, I want you to tell me about like what's going on with your life, and Dr. Kessler promises to tell her everything but says she's going to regret it. So it's just a very cute mother-daughter togetherness scene. Episode 20 is the return of Tamar. This is her first session after the 6 weeks. And the start of the episode is her and Graham, and the two of them are going to a wedding. They've apparently... slept together. Tamar talks about that sorta later. But they're definitely together. And they're going to a wedding. He thinks it'll be educational for her. But then she says she's going to see Dr. Kessler. And then the two of them are having some kind of disagreement. But she doesn't want to tell Dr. Kessler that she and Graham are together. And he's like, well, the center hired her. Like, she can't hurt you. And then she's like, yeah, but she could send me back to the center. And we can't be together if I'm back in the center. So that ends. Graham and Tamar are cute together. I have reservations because it's not entirely, like, I'm glad Tamar is in a relationship because she wanted to be in a relationship. And it seems like a nice relationship, but the fact that they have to date in secret is never good. And the power dynamic is a little... The issue is that technically speaking, as a person who has... This is gonna make me sound like I know lots of things. My previous jobs I've worked at colleges, and for all the colleges you work at, you have to go through sexual harassment training and this thing called Title IX. When you go through those trainings, they tell you that if you are in any way responsible for someone, like if you're a TA, a teaching assistant, you can't date any of your students. Not in your current classes. There are a couple, like, ways you could get around it. Like, if you were previously their TA and then weren't their TA a different semester, you could, in theory, date them, I guess. But if you're in a position of power over them where you control, like, their grades and stuff, you can't date someone. And while I understand that Graham is not a teaching assistant, he was hired by the center. And his job is to take care of Tamar. So in theory, he's probably breaking, like, tons of rules because there would be, like, a no sexual harassment rule because she's a patient of the center and he's an employee of the center. Thus, no hanky-panky. And hanky-panky is happening. So there's an issue there. Like, the two of them are cute together and it's nice. But I also am very worried that something awful is going to happen, or like Graham and Tamar don't understand, or maybe Graham is possibly not entirely I don't know. I feel like something is going to happen, or that something is just a little off. Maybe I'm just a cynical human being. I mean, I am a cynical human being a lot of the time, so it's possible I'm just overthinking. But while Tamar is in her session with Dr. Kessler, she informs her that she's been learning about the Japanese internment, which is a very sad moment in history. During World War II, the U.S. put in camps, Japanese Americans. The idea was that they were protecting them. It was a thing. The American government put Japanese Americans in camps, which is not okay in any way, shape, or form, but it happened. Tamar is researching it, and she connects with the Japanese who were interred, and is telling Dr. Kessler, and is relating this to her being in the center, because she doesn't understand why they didn't, she does understand actually why they kept her in there. She points out that she doesn't see why she wasn't sent to live with a family member, someone who's connected to her by blood, and why when she was at the center, why they kept her in the center for so long. While she's going through all of this, Dr. Kessler keeps asking, do you talk about these things with Graham? Does Graham read the same books you're reading? Finally, Tamar is like, why don't you just ask me what you want to be asking me? And she finally reveals that, well, she sarcastically says that she and Graham have been sleeping together and they're getting married in June, and that they're going to invite the head of the center and see which one of them he shoots first. So she and Graham having sex. Having sex. The rest of that is sarcasm. I don't think they get married in June. Although I don't know what month it is in this timeline, so maybe June is far enough away that they could get married in June. I don't know. But she says all that, Dr. Kessler does not. I mean, she doesn't really comment on whether that's ethical or not. She's already pointed out that she didn't think they should be together. And then Tamar goes on to say that by the end of this, she compares herself to, oh my gosh, I forget the name. She recites a quote where about being held captive and how that if they try and control you, control the person. I can't believe I can't remember the name of the person she's quoting. I'm sorry. But the quote winds up being that if someone tries to control you, that they'll regret trying to control you. And when she finishes the quote, she like smirks. And I immediately was like, that is a supervillain smirk. Like, that was the kind of thing I would expect from like Loki or Lex Luthor or something. Maybe not Lex Luthor, I don't know. But it was a very like smirk. I don't know. I don't know. I know that Tamara is exceptionally displeased with her situation and at the center, and she doesn't trust Dr. Kessler now, and their relationship is very strained. The whole meeting, Tamara was like very stiff and very, like, her tone was very sharp and not open, and she'd been very open before. So it's a new dynamic between the two of them. I'm hoping that their relationship thaws a bit. I liked their relationship. I thought they were getting along very well. I understand why Tamara's upset. I do. But I hope their relationship gets back to what it was, at least a little bit. Okay, so that is my recap. I have inserted my thoughts and feelings as I do every week. And let me see. Oh, because this is my kind of recap, I am going to plug another kind of TV related web series thing. I'm doing a like Carmilla appreciation thing through the Nerdy Girl Express. I want fans of Carmilla to tell me what they love about the series. I'm going to compile all of this and publish it as either a like massive like we love Carmilla post to share with the internet universe, or I'll make I'm gonna type it. I think I'll probably do a video connected to it, but I won't like sit here and read everybody's stuff. But I would love your comments, responses, thoughts. You can tweet me at ClefNotes with why you love Carmilla or anything about this video if you want. You can also comment below about anything kind of TV related. You can also email me if you're doing the Carmilla stuff. The original post has my email address in it, and I will link that below. You can also find me specifically on the Nerdy Girl Express, thenerdygirlexpress.com. I run their Snapchat, even though I've really sucked at snapping recently. Actually, like all the time. That's the Nerdy Girl EXP, and I post recipes on the iZombie Sport Group site, iZombiesportgroup.com. Bye, guys!